Listen, I loved this movie. And you guys are both, I think, both newbies to the franchise and getting to what actually surprised you about joining a franchise like this and the way Chris and Tom work? Because the way they collaborate is unique amongst a lot of filmmakers and actors.
Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead. You take it. You had collaborated with him on.
This was fairly different. This is very different from Top Gun and filming. I think since they've done Mission Impossible, like 2 or 3 times before, they had this type of rapport and they know each other like the back of their hands. Is very interesting to see when McHugh was saying something like, "Hey, Tom, I need you." And Tom is already like, "Yep, I got it." And he does it. And it's just like, wait, did he say? No, he didn't. Or Tom is like, "Hey, McHugh, I think he said, already on it. I told him to put the camera right there." And he's like, "Thank you, McHugh, got it." They just know what they're doing,
I mean, you and I have known each other from small films. Independent films, and you come on something like this, but it's huge. These things, the tapestry is huge, but they love story and they love character. So you get in there, and I was shocked how much we delved into character and story, and they give each character a moment in this piece. So I love that aspect of it.
I love that Tom embraces the fact that he's been running in movies since like 86 or 96, whatever it is. You guys get to run in this movie. Talk a little bit, both you have the train sequence, which is insane. And then you also have the Abu Dhabi airport sequence, which is incredible. So which one for both of you were you, I guess, more nervous to film or more excited to film? Because both are memorable.
Probably the train sequence, because that was the first thing we shot was on top of the train. And you come in for the first day of filming for both of us, and it's like, "Hey guys, go on top of a train." It's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we joined, you signed up for this, of course, yeah."
Yeah, I mean but you left out Venice, because Venice is where we did the most running.
Yeah.
I mean, although we hoofed it pretty hard through the airport there in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
But that was the one because we were shooting nights, I remember, and we were running all night from like 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And that was the one where I pulled something on the last night of like a weekday shoot, pulled a calf muscle. You remember that?
Yes.
And I told you, I said to Tarzan, I don't have another one in me. And McHugh comes up, he says, "Listen, so I didn't get that. You had another one in you?" And this is not Hollywood speak. Like, I really had popped it. And you said, "Yeah, let's just try to get it." And we went again. Yeah. And I saw that sequence the other night in the movie. And it was intense. It's really intense, beautiful stuff.
Yeah, also that this wasn't involving the two of you, but that fight sequence in Venice with Tom and the two of them in that little alley is, oh my God. Yes. You know what I mean? It's just, I have to ask for the two of you, what actually was your reaction watching the finished film, being inside of making something like this? Because the spectacle is insane.
It's huge. When you're in it, you're so focused and you have that laser beam focus on what you're doing. You don't really know what everybody else is doing. And you start questioning, asking McHugh, like, how is this all going to tie together? I don't get it. Like, it's not making sense to me. This big thing, you have the old characters, you have the new characters coming in. How do you make it all come together? And you watch and it's like, oh, this is what you were doing. Oh, this is the genius that you put on the screen for the audience to watch and be entertained. And he did a fantastic job with it.
Yeah, I walked out. I texted McHugh and Tom and him. I went proud. Like, I'm proud of this piece. The last 40 minutes, I held my breath the last, and I knew what was going to happen. And I was still, I just think it's a brilliant action film with characters you care about.
I was saying to people when the movie ended, this might have been the fastest 2.5-hour movie I've seen in forever. Like, it just never slows down.
And you want more after. Yeah.
Speaking of more, what are you allowed to tease about a certain part 2?
There's a part 2?
I believe there might be, actually.
Oh, well, somebody need to get my agents on that then. God dang, I don't know. I'm just finding out about this. I thought it was only in part 1.
Yeah, McHugh, I had a long interview with McHugh this morning. He said that you guys are going to be filming till early next year.
Are we?
Yeah, I heard rumors. Although I don't know how big your character's involvement is in the sequel, obviously.
Well, that's news to me. Early next year. That is news to me.
Okay, I'll move on so you don't have to get in. One of the things, though, I think that it's crazy is when McHugh and Erik were working on the screenplay years ago, they couldn't have known how much AI would be talked about when this movie is coming out. I mean, it's like a little Nostradamus-esque in terms of, because he wrote this 4 years ago. Yeah. So talk a little bit about that aspect, that it's very exactly in the moment, this movie.
Yeah, it was pretty prescient when you look back. I mean, we didn't know, you know what I mean? But the thing with those guys is it's story. They hooked into a story. But I don't want to get too caught up even in the AI of it all, because these guys want to entertain at the end of the day. They want you to come into the theater and to watch this and be entertained. And then that happens to be something that they latched onto, and it just happens to now be in the forefront.
Agreed. I think it's interesting. Maybe they can see into the future.
Oh, 100%. I got to wrap. I'm just going to say, seriously, congratulations. Movie is fucking awesome.
Thank you,
That's
man.
all.